Hey guys, it's Chris with Double Eagle Gunworks, and we're out on the range today, and we're going to be looking at the Mantis X training system. It has the mechanical part of it here that mounts onto the gun. It's got all the electronics built into this little housing right here, and it looks at a lot of different aspects of how you're shooting, and it has an app that goes on your phone so that it will count your shots and do the shot timer. It has training drills and everything on it. So we're going to shoot it a little bit today on two different guns, show you how it switches back and forth from different guns, and we'll just show you how it works. So let's do a little shooting. We're going to start with the FNS 9, so it'll be a 9mm, and we'll just do some basic shooting with it to see how the Mantis works. Okay, so it gives you an indication here on the screen about where you're hitting on the target, and if you were kind of pulling or whatever you were doing, and then it explains a little bit about that. So let's shoot some more. Okay, so it gives you indication of what you were doing and possible causes for any problems that you might be having in the shooting. So it gives you an explanation of what was going on while you were shooting. There's a lot of different things that it looks at in each one of the shots. Shows you where the actual trigger press was, how your shots, the gun was moving around while you were shooting. So a lot of different indicators there that it's good to help with the training part of it. So we'll try a couple of the other options that it's got here on the screen as well. Okay, we're going to do what's called the Mantis benchmark. So we'll load up 10 shots and shoot this and see how that works. Okay, with the Mantis benchmark, it gives you an average of your score on each one of the shots. It's looking at a couple different things. So where you're hitting, it's telling you some things that you might be doing wrong that you need to correct. So a lot of good information. Let's try one of the other ones. Okay, this one is going to be called the timed benchmark. So the previous one there was no time limit on it. This one, you're shooting 10 shots and it's going to time you and see how much you can get done. Okay, so it shot 5 shots and gave you the average score and how long it took you to do the 5 shots. So it took 3.73 seconds for me to shoot 5 shots. So let's do that one more time. Must have shot 6 the first time. Okay, well, to do 4 shots, that was only 2.02 seconds. So, must have hit 6 on that first round. Okay. Now they've got a drill where you're just shooting with your primary hand, so just your dominant hand. Okay, so primary hand only. Okay, score on that was actually better when I was shooting than two-handed. So, maybe I just need to shoot one-handed. Okay, now you can do the same drill with the support hand. Okay, so this is going to be shooting left-handed, which I don't do a whole lot. So let's see how this goes. Well, score's pretty close in between the right and left hand, so not bad there. So it gives you causes, like I said, of what you might be doing wrong, and it shows a graph of how the gun was moving around while you were shooting as well. And the other one of the other ones you can do is a shot timer. So let's try that one out. Okay, it took 15.62 seconds to get in 10 shots. Score was pretty good. Gun didn't move around a whole lot, much out of where it was pointed. So let's switch guns and see what the numbers look like in between different guns. The screw post is right here on the side of the gun, and you just twist it off and take the screw completely out, and then it slides off the pick rail of the gun. So for it to work, you've got to have the Picatinny rail on the bottom of the gun that's got the slots in it, so that when you slide the Mantis on it, you line up the screw hole with one of those slots in the pick rail to be able to put it on. And then it just slides right back off. Now, to turn the equipment on and off, it's got a button here on the bottom of the housing. You just press that button and it turns it on and off. When you first turn it on and you have the app activated on your phone, the green light will blink, showing you that it's ready to connect to your phone, and then you would hit connect on the app itself, and then the electronics in here would pair with your phone and you'd be ready to go. And then when you get done, just press the button and hold it for a minute, and it doesn't want to turn off. Okay, there you go. So you just got to hold it in a little while for it to turn off. Now, this thing has a rechargeable battery in it. It charges by a micro USB port, so it comes with the charging cord, and it's just micro USB on this side and just a standard USB on the other end of the cord, and it will charge the unit. So to put it back in, you just tighten that up and you're ready to go. Actually comes in a Pelican case, and it's got a foam liner inside the case that is cut to the shape of the Mantis unit. And it also comes, if you're gonna keep the unit on a gun more regularly, then it's got just a regular flathead screw that you can put in there rather than the knurled screw, to be able to tighten it up and just keep it on one gun more than switching it back and forth in between other guns. But this is the charging cable that it comes with here. So it's got the regular USB there, and then your micro USB on this end, and then everything just stays in the case. Flip this over so that screw fits in there better. And then everything just sits right back in the case, closes up, and it's a very nice. Even I think these Pelican cases are normally waterproof, so it's a very nice case that it comes in. Okay guys, let's take a look at some of the screens that you can see and the information that's presented in the Mantis X. And this was on just the regular shooting portion. It wasn't the benchmark or anything, but it shows you what your score was for each one of the shots. Kind of tells you where the shots were hitting based on how the gun was moving around, and then it gives you a possible diagnosis of what you were doing to cause that. Then this screen shows how the gun was moving around when you were pressing the trigger and then when you were holding there. And then this is an actual graph of what the gun was doing as far as how it was moving around while you were shooting. So it takes each one of the 5 shots that you did. It gives you a score on each shot and shows you the graph of how the gun was moving around while you were taking the shot. So it gives you a lot of good information on there, and then it keeps a history of all the different drills that you've done, and then you can go back and look at your scores and see how everything is improving while you're training with the gun. So this is going to be with the SIG P320 in 357 SIG. See what the difference shows how I perform with this gun. And we're going to be starting out with just the open training, just doing a few shots to see how it responds. Okay, measured those 10 shots, and then it's giving you what the score was for each one, and what your average score was, and where you're hitting, and then shows how the gun is moving around on this one. So let's try one of the other drills with the SIG. Okay, this is going to be the benchmark shooting. So we'll start this one out. Just had a malfunction with the gun, and for some reason the extractor didn't pull the empty case out of the chamber, and it was trying to push another round into the chamber at the same time, so it jammed the gun. So just had to drop the magazine out and clear the chamber, and then we should be ready to go start back shooting. Okay, showing the scores there. Kind of blew the time off in between the second and third shot because I didn't stop the timer in between when we had the malfunction, so I had to get everything cleared out. So the time on the third shot looks like it took forever, but it just where we had to stop for the malfunction. And for some reason it didn't pick up the 10th shot. Okay, let's try the timed benchmark now with the SIG. Okay, the way that timed benchmark drill worked is you're trying to shoot as fast as you can, and it's not counting the shots, it's just giving you a timer how many shots you can get off in the amount of time that it's giving you there. And what I'm hearing in the earpiece is when I'm doing the timed benchmark, it gives you a starting buzzer, and then it gives you a buzzer when the time has run out based on how much time it is allotting for this particular drill. So that got off 5 shots, looks like, in 2.38 seconds.
I heard 7.
I thought I had shot more than that, but it only recorded 5 shots for some reason. So I'm not sure why it didn't pick up a couple of shots, but I thought I had shot more than just the 5 shots. For some reason it didn't pick up the last 2. Not sure why. So that's a little bit odd there. So I don't know whether that's a sensitivity issue with the mechanism or exactly what that might be caused by, but the app gives you a lot of good information about what you're doing while you're shooting, and if you are able to train with this thing regularly, then it's going to help you improve your shooting, because it's going to tell you what you're doing, and then you can work on correcting those issues and improving your shots and getting the groups tighter, not having as much variation in your groups, and being able to tighten everything up there and be more accurate with your shooting. And it gives you those diagnoses, like I said, what it thinks you might be doing to cause the problems that it's reading in the gun, based on how the muzzle of the gun is moving around while you're shooting. So that's really what it's looking at. It's got I don't know whether it's like a gyroscope or exactly what's built into the mechanism here, but it measures how the gun is moving around up and down, left and right, and it bases your score on how much movement and everything it saw while you were taking the shot. So it's a very nice piece of equipment to help with your training, and you can use this on live fire and dry fire training. It's got settings in the app where you can change from live fire to dry fire, and it's also on the dry fire, it's got a more sensitive one, so if it's not picking up the dry fire when you're pulling the trigger, then you can go to the more sensitive setting, and it helps you helps it to pick up the shots on the dry fire part of it. So a lot of good information in the app. Now this one is an older version of the Mantis X. I've had this one for a little while, so I think they've come out with some different versions at this time, but the app itself updates regularly whenever they put out a new update for the app. So the equipment is a little bit older, but the app stays up to date based on what they have put out recently, and it would work with the older equipment as long as everything is compatible on what they're putting out on the app. So check out the Mantis X training system. It's a good system to be able to help you increase your accuracy, increase your speed while you're shooting. So check it out, and check out doubleeaglegunworks.com for more information.